Shalom, 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 and welcome to the 12 Cities in Israel podcast. My name is Michael Sahno.
And I'm Rachel Villegas.
And we are on episode...
Shmone.
Yeah, Metsuyan. Shmone. Shmone is 8 in Hebrew. Apparently I'm taking the apple today. So, all right, cool. Welcome to the show. Before we get started, I have to give a shout out. Normally we do our regular you know what? I'll do that. I'll do our regular shout outs. Our first one is to iConnect, one of our sponsors. iConnect, engagement with Israel that earns you rewards. Earn points and connect with Israel with articles, games, quizzes, polls, and more. So what exactly is iConnect? Well, iConnect is a social gaming platform where you can play, earn points, and receive cool prizes all for free. Their goal is to help you stay connected with Israel no matter where you are on the globe. Now, why should you play? Because iConnect introduces you to a unique way to acquaint yourself with all things Israel while working towards winning once-in-a-lifetime experiences. So head on over to www.iconnect.co.il. That's www.iconnect.co.il and start playing now. Our next sponsor is Israel Phones, and they are the leading provider of communication devices for people traveling to Israel. Israel Phones offers SIM cards, MiFi devices, which are mobile Wi-Fi hotspots, travel products, and serves the connectivity needs of tour groups, synagogues, schools, community missions, study programs, and individuals, supplying you with international prepaid SIM cards, cell phones, and USB portable modem hotspot rentals. Israel Phones consistently provides dedicated support for your travel cell, offering cutting-edge technology at competitive prices. For more information on what Israel Phones can do for you on your next trip to Israel, visit www.israelphones.com. That's www.israelphones.com. Now, I just realized that I screwed up. I was supposed to read the first ad, and I was supposed to hand it off to you for the next one.
Habits.
I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry. Don't worry. You're going to get a lot of airtime in this episode. I haven't told you what this episode's about. But before we get into that, I need to give a shout out to a brand new sponsor, someone I'm really excited, actually a group of people that I'm really excited about talking about, hawking. That sounds horrible. It is Alto Music. Alto Music is our provider, for our sole provider from this point forward for all of our audio needs. They can be your provider for all your audio needs, for microphones, musical instruments, everything from recording devices to, cords, cables. Cables are overlooked, but these people, they know everything. They can do everything. I don't have the email address or the URL on hand, but it will be shown at the end of the video version of this. I'm pretty sure it's www.altomusic.com. If I'm wrong, I'll put the correct one in the video version and I'll correct it in the next episode. But a big shout out to them. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you to Dave, the manager of the Wappingers Falls, New York store, Johnny Z, who every time I have a question about, hey, can we do this with our audio? What if our signal is blah, 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 blah? He suffers through all of that and comes up with solutions. And Steve, just a longtime friend who's worked there. So let's get into it. We are on episode 8. All right, we're creeping up on 10. We're getting close, but episode 8, this is a big one. This is sort of Bigash's origin story. So look at her face. Oh my gosh, you gotta watch the video version. So I wanted to talk about you, or more specifically, I wanted you to talk about yourself. Welcome to the spot. You're standing in it. So I have a couple of questions. Really, really harmless. Don't worry. I'm not going to get into love life. I'm not going to get into family troubles, of which the Villegas family has virtually none. So,
Thankfully.
so, all right. I want you to tell me and to tell our listeners and our viewers, what brought you and I met at City College.
Yes.
So what brought you to City College?
What? Well, okay. Yeah.
Well, no, think about it. What caused? So for those of you who don't know, City College is a CUNY school, part of the City University of New York network, which are very, they're not I mean, you can get, if you get a degree at Hunter in the liberal arts, it's pretty much the same as a degree from Brooklyn College, City College, all of those. But each of the different colleges do have specific focuses in some of their departments.
Yeah.
Like City College is an engineering college. But it's also got a very
School of Sciences.
Yeah, it's got a very prominent Jewish studies program. One of the premier Jewish studies programs in the City College network. What else? I know Brooklyn College, they're known for their film program. Hunter College is known, I think, for their teaching programs.
I know the teaching and their nursing program.
Yeah, their teaching and their nursing programs. Queens College has something, nobody knows what it is. So what brought you to City College?
I wasn't allowed to go out of state. That would have never happened in my family.
Okay. But
So,
is that why you wound up at a CUNY? So you had a choice of different schools. You got in out of high school.
yes. So it was like that whole fiasco of applying for colleges in the midst of also graduating high school. So like I applied to like a good amount of CUNYs, like Hunter, City, and those are the two I only remember. But then I also applied to like private schools, and that tuition was a no. Especially because there was Christy and I. It was the both of us going to college at the same time. So I wasn't going to be like, I want to go to this private college.
And explain who that is.
Oh, Christy is my twin sister. So we have been in school together for forever and a decade. And the tuition is times 2.
Yes, it is. So why then were you always into media? Was media something that you were always interested in? And if so, were you aware of the media program at City College, and that is what pushed you there?
No, I was not aware of it at all. So, as a kid, my sister and I and my nephew, we actually made like home videos together that I would be the camera person and Christy and my nephew Justin would be the actors. So like they're climbing Mount Everest, they're exploring a cave in like the depths of hell, something like that. But like I never wanted to be in front of the camera, but that was always just like a little like hobby for us to do together, like pretend. But then I actually got into City College as a bio student. That was
Whoa! Holy cow, that's hilarious.
That was my original route.
Nurse Bigash, calling Nurse Bigash.
But then it wasn't really, I still love science. Like that was like my whole track in high school. It was like advanced bio, advanced chemistry,
Wow.
organic chem, biochem. We were
Look
the
at
guinea
this.
pigs in my high school for that first class. But going into it at City, it wasn't, I don't know what it was. It wasn't really for me how it was their
Structure?
how it was structured. And I really feel like their system is against the student, because if you fail one semester, they don't have the class again in the following spring. You got to wait the whole year to retake
they have a
terrible.
they have a track. So but they also, I know for what you went into after that. So from there, you went where?
I became undeclared. And then it was funny because a lot of my gen eds were filled up by Jewish studies courses. And
Your general education requirements?
yeah, all the
Okay,
gen ed
cool.
requirements. And then like I would be in the office like if I needed to write something quick, because that was available, thank God. And then I remember
Well, the Jewish studies program, specifically one of their big selling points, Dr. Middleman runs the program.
Yes.
And his big draw is we have our own lounge. So
It's a beautiful lounge with better couches than all of City College combined.
and very nice views. So go on. So you were in the office often.
And yes, and I already knew this, that the majority of my gen eds also came up to a minor in Jewish studies. And since I was undeclared, I was like, all right, I might as well just have this as my major instead.
So you became a Jewish studies major.
Yes.
So let me ask you, was this your first toe in the water as far as understanding, or not understanding, your first toe in the water, your first introduction to Israel?
Yes, very much so.
Okay. So you went and you became a Jewish studies major, and you had no concept of what the state of Israel really was. Did you learn more about that while you were in some of the classes? What classes were you taking as
Professor Kratkas.
Yay.
I love her.
Amy Kratka, we love you
Yes.
with all our heart.
Yes. I took her film and fiction course,
Mm-hmm.
and with Wasserman,
Jews in film and fiction, right?
yes, a lot of those related, but then like more related to like the literature from figures, like writers and like short stories.
That's okay.
So,
cool. You're good.
But it was more of like Israel before Israel was Israel.
Oh, so we're talking. So I've taken a number of Dr. Krakka's classes, and a lot of her classes take place during the immigration period, early U.S. Or not early U.S. history, but turn of the century, end of the
20th,
end of the 19th, early 20th century, and the state didn't exist then. It was part of the Ottoman Empire at that time. So you became a Jewish studies major. You took Dr. Krakka, learned a lot about Jewish fiction.
Yes.
She and a couple of hers, she has some Israeli authors.
Yes.
And she also, but primarily she focuses on Jewish life in America and Israel as the other, which is interesting because that is what Israel was kind of to you. It was the other.
Yes.
We're in America. So boom, Israel's over there. So, okay, did you become a Jewish studies major at that time?
Yes. I think it was within my second semester, my first year, second semester, in between that, like second semester, first year of second, like sophomore, in between freshman and sophomore year. That's when I became a Jewish studies major, and I got the bells and screaming from Dr. Middleman.
So when you become a Jewish studies major, Dr. Middleman parades you out into the office outside of his office, rings a bell and says, "Hey, we have a new Jewish studies major," and then you're mortified, basically. Slightly horrified, but definitely mortified.
Yes.
The same thing happened to me. So My quick story, we're going to go back to you in a moment, but my quick thing was I got into the Colin Powell School of International Studies. Yeah.
Wow.
Which,
Congrats.
thank you. And it was actually kind of funny because I didn't, okay, big fat hairy deal. I showed up. I opened the door. I sent an email. No, I applied and I got a letter back saying congratulations. And I didn't think of it. It's CUNY. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, my mom opened my letter. I never got to open any of my letters because I would be in school, regular school, and I'd come open and I'd see the letters on the table ripped open. And she's like, you got into this school. I'm like, lady, I haven't.
It's my moment. Why did you steal it?
It's her. It was very much her moment. She
Oh
was
my
like,
gosh, absolutely.
Because we're her only kids.
Yeah.
So like her kids the first time around are getting into college. So like for her, it's very much her moment too.
Aww. Well, I got in and was like, hey, yeah, all right, so I'm going to school. And I told my mom I'm going to school. And
Cute.
a couple of weeks later, I don't know what it was, I told her that I got into the Colin Powell School.
Oh.
She said, so what? I forgot to ask you, what are you going for? And I said, I'm going for international studies. I got into the Colin Powell School of International Studies. She was floored. She was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. You're so, I know that school. And I was like, I don't. And
wow, he's
cool.
like, I just applied.
I just went there because I wanted to work in, it's actually funny. I wanted to work in anti-terrorism. I wanted to work. So after September 11th, there was this bunker. During September 11th, there was this bunker where everyone went to. Rudy Giuliani, the governor, all of them. They went to this bunker and it was this command center. And I said to myself, you know, I had been in the military for a number of years. And I said, I want to be in that bunker. I want to be one of the guys in that bunker. You know what I mean? Like
I remember that day very differently.
Yeah. But if something happens, I want to be the guy that they call. And I want to be in that bunker. And I thought about it, and I thought about it for a while. And I realized that I didn't want to be in that bunker because in order to be in that bunker, you had to be in a job that your entire focus was bad days. People having bad days and bad people. And because of that, you know, you can't leave that stuff at home. You can't leave
carry that with you.
Terrorism and all that stuff at your doorstep. It comes to your home. It comes, you know, to your meals. It comes into every aspect of your life. And I had moved on. That was actually after I had dropped my major, though. Because what happened is I went to my first introductory class for international studies at City College. And it was this crazy, crazy woman who, she gave us this reading, and it was Christopher Columbus and cannibals or something like that. And it was about how Christopher Columbus was the devil, and we, from the point that Christopher Columbus showed up on the shores of the New World, everything, we basically destroyed everything. And that we need to take everything that we have and give it back to the indigenous people. Now, do I think that we should do things for the indigenous? Absolutely. But progress, forward movement, forward momentum can be a painful thing. Absolutely.
Yes.
But I didn't do that. And on top of that, my family didn't come here until a good 400 years after that. So, So I was like, these people are crazy commies, and I could hear my grandfather, my Joe Sahno, World War II Joe Sahno, going, "Hey, freaky commies, just the Reds," and I can't take it. So I could hear him just grumbling, and all of those things that he imparted to me joy about just this. And it wasn't like this socialist rhetoric. It was straight up like commie stuff. And I showed my wife the syllabus, and I was on the fence about it because I really wanted the degree in international studies. And she goes, "Oh, these guys are communists. You need to get out of this class." I was like, okay.
Oh my God.
I was like, all right, no problem. But you have to understand. So my dad, that Joe Sahno, was born in Russia in 1911 or 17.
Wow.
They're Polish on that side of the family. So they know about these talking points and that these talking points are weird. So I wound up leaving, and I was really upset. And I went to Dr. Middleman and I said, I don't know what to do. I can't be an international studies major.
Team undeclared.
Well, no. So he goes, he's slick. So he goes, that's okay, because you're a Jewish studies major. And I was like, what? No, I'm not. I'm a minor. And I haven't even done the paperwork. He goes, no, it's okay because you're a Jewish studies major. Oh, I get it. All right. Yeah. Where do I sign? And I did it. And it was the best thing that ever happened. And you did it too. But you also added another track.
Yeah, because I love myself.
So what, now, when did you add that other track? Because I know, and what is that track? That track is?
The film and video program at the City College of New York.
Which is how she does all of this with me, you know, and I don't have the benefit of that degree. So it's a lot of ham-fisted forcing of things. But
throwing rocks on tripods.
Yes, I threw a rock at a tripod when we were in Israel. So it was sunset. There were shadows.
I will never let you live that
it.
down.
Anyways, so you moved into the film and video, and how did that happen?
My parents were like, "What are you going to do with the Jewish studies degree?" And I told them, "I don't know."
Oh my God.
Because I genuinely did not know. Like,
were you interested in it?
I was interested in it because I liked learning about this. Because I grew up Catholic, so it's like the same principles, but like with at least my Old Testament, but like your Bible, and like just seeing the whole other perspective of it. Like I liked
for
learning
Jewish
that.
studies or for film?
No, for Jewish studies.
Oh, because I'm like, what are
you talking about?
I'm trying to figure out how you got into film and video,
yeah.
and you're telling me the Old Testament
No, because they were like, "What
it.
are you doing about this? What are you doing with the Jewish studies major?" And I was like, "I don't know, but I like learning about everything that I am learning about."
There, all right, I'm connecting now.
So I was like, "All right, what else does City College have to offer?" As I'm a sophomore going to be a junior, and I was like, "All right, let's figure life out." And I literally scrolled through all the majors of City College, and I was like, "Oh, film and video. I did that before." And I just clicked it. And the portfolio and like the required classes to at least like be considered, I was like, all right, I can fit that into my schedule so that I can at least like get my foot in the door. And it was like intro to media class and then basic filming. And so whatever I did in that class, I used for the portfolio to apply for the program. And I got accepted. That was a lovely day in June. I cried in the NAC building because it was an email. So the deadline was, I think it was May 1st. And they were like, "We'll send out results within like 2 weeks." And I was like, okay. I remember May 1st clearly. I stayed up the whole night before writing the essay that's like required. And I remember my friend came over and she said I looked like death because I was struggling to get everything done before. And it was so bad. I remember I drove to school in the Honda and I left the headlights on. I didn't know that. I'm sorry, Daddy. And I found the headlights still on because we parked at the bottom of the hill on St. Nicholas.
Yeah.
We parked there. I left the headlights on, didn't know that till I came back. And I remember going into Shepherd Hall, and I saw the one of the main people in the office, and I was like, "Here, take it. I don't want this anymore."
Good. That's awesome. And you got accepted.
Yes.
And you became a what is it? A film? It's media.
Film and video and Jewish studies major, double major. But
There you go.
to middleman, I'm a Jewish studies major and
Yes.
then film and video.
That's awesome. That's good. That's really good. And you use that now outside of what we do here. You use that now, which is exciting because that puts you all over. We're in New York City, so that puts you
Everywhere.
all over New York City. And you're pretty in demand because you have a bunch of your own equipment, which is helpful.
Thank you to you.
Don't even worry about it. We have a lot of equipment from when we went to do the show in Israel. We have wireless mics and just we have a lot of equipment, and it's all professional grade equipment. So part of how her pay structure is she gets to generate income for herself by using our equipment to work on other projects, and we're more than happy to do that. That's not a problem at all. All right, we are coming up on the half an hour.
Wow, so fast.
So yeah, what I'd like to do is I'd like to read a couple of more ads from our sponsors. Two more of our sponsors. Neviot flavored water. Nature at its best taste. Neviot delivers you with a true combination of health and pleasure. It's based on Neviot natural mineral water, one of its kind in Israel. It's enhanced with 5 B group vitamins. It's naturally sweetened. It is low in calories, only 35 to 40 calories per 8 fluid ounces. There are no preservatives, no color additives. It is available in delicious, indulging flavors: apple, peach, and grape. If you're in Israel, you should be drinking Neviot. For more information, check out their website at www.neviotglobal.com/en/home. That's www.neviotglobal.com/en.
What happened?
/home. Wow, my brain. Okay.
All right. And now we have Makolet Online's main goal is to make Israeli goods, groceries, and Judaic products affordable and available to everyone in the USA and Canada. Their online store carries items that are unavailable in most places in North America, things like tahini, Israeli chocolates, frozen borekas, and the Neviot water that we are drinking here today. At Makolet Online, you will find all your favorite Israeli goods or simply enjoy brand new flavors. All their products are kosher and most are manufactured in Israel. And if you want the taste of Israel, that's what I get. If you want the taste of Israel delivered to your home, visit www.makoletonline.com and order today. And for an added bonus, if you use the code 12 cities in Israel, all one word, no space, 12CITIESINISRAEL, you will receive 15% off your entire purchase. So please visit www.makoletonline.com and order today. That's what I get.
What's the next line?
Oh, and for today from Makolet Online, we have drumroll.
Vitaminchik. Vitaminchik is a flavored syrup. It comes in a number of different flavors: raspberry, peach, peach mango, grape, apple, lemon, and all you do is you put a little tiny bit in a bottle of water, and it will give you literally the taste of that fruit in your water. if I open this up and you were to smell it, so this is raspberry, and I think I was telling in the other podcast, and I can't open this one up. This one's sealed. But if you know how raspberries smell fuzzy? So these, when you open this up and you smell it, it smells fuzzy like raspberries. So it's natural ingredients. Put it in your water. It's a great way too for kids to hydrate in the heat. It's always tough to get them to. Excuse me, I have a hiccup. It's always tough to get them to drink in the summertime. And
for God knows why. I'm like, you're going to have a headache in like 20 minutes if you don't drink this, but they don't listen.
But yeah, so if you're in Israel or in the US and you have one of those big water bottles, you put a pinch of that in there and it sweetens it up. Doesn't take a lot. And you have this I drink it all the time. I drink it 2 big bottles of it every day. So not that.
No, I'm about
specifically
to say.
2 big bottles of water with this in it. So yeah.
He was like pile stocking in Israel. I remember going to his room and he'd have like more and more bottles creeping up on his windowsill.
Well, because you got to rotate. You have you
have to rotate.
Apple. You have a peach, mango. Mango. Speak English. Sorry. Okay, so back to the podcast. So you became a Jewish studies and film and media maven. So now we're back. What is it? We're back to almost 3 years ago, and
Yeah.
you are on a bus with myself. I don't even know if that's grammatically correct, but hey. And what happened?
So
what I'm
music.
asking. Go.
I don't know. First you were telling me about your master plan with your music inspiration.
I don't know if I want this story to be told, but go on.
It was like reggae in the desert.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So I had this idea. I am convinced that Southern Israel is the place to go and that it is an untapped resource for music festivals. I love music festivals. And I'm not talking Coachella or Burning Man or, the big, everyone says they're corporate. I don't care. But I'm talking, they have these big festivals called Ultra, or in Vermont, up in Vermont, they have this thing called Sunsplash every year. They have it in Jamaica too. It's Reggae Sunsplash. It's this big reggae festival, and people just cool out in, a big field, and people get up, and I love that. And I don't know if it's because when I was growing up, you had a bunch of big festivals. You had Live Aid, Amnesty International. And when I was growing up, we went to the Warp Tour, the Vans Warp Tour, because I was into skateboarding.
You went to Warp Tour?
Yeah, it was awesome. I saw like all kinds of bands, like Green Day, The Offspring. It was insane. And I've always been a real big fan. And I came up with this thing called Reggae in the Desert. I came up with another one called Party in the South Festival, and the city of Beersheba was like lukewarm about it. So when my media empire establishes itself in Beersheba, we're going to have a sort of like an appreciation festival. And that will happen. It will happen eventually. But yeah, I'm convinced that Southern. So go on. I was telling you about Reggae in the Desert.
It was that. And then that's the one that like really stood out to me, because I was like, this man's crazy, but it's okay.
Are you serious?
No,
this man's crazy.
No, not even, because I was like, reggae in Israel. I was like, of all the combinations in the world, I'm like, this is what you choose.
Absolutely. And tell them why. It's huge there.
Yeah. Wow. They really like reggae and like Spanish style music when I went to a club in Beersheba, and all I was hearing were these Spanish artists, and I'm like, they really bop into this.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And you got the heads and you got the Guidos. You know what I'm talking about too, because you saw them when they were there. The skinny jeans, the V-neck, like my shirt right now that I'm wearing.
Slick back hair with the gel.
But shaved, but the little rooster haircut. It's So, but okay, so we're getting off subject. So we're on the bus. I'm telling you about what I'm doing. What I'm alluding to is that I was telling you about my idea for 12 cities in Israel, right?
It was just a baby though. Because like there weren't like definite things yet until like later on. I think it was more like manifested after you went to Israel the first time.
Yes. Oh, so wait a minute. I hadn't even gone yet?
Nope. You didn't go yet at all.
Holy cow. So, okay. So
I think you were going.
I was going. That was the first time I was going. And I was going for Ulpan at Ben Gurion University. So Ulpan is the
Crash
intensive
course of Hebrew.
It's a crash course. It's intensive Hebrew for 30 days in the summertime. So I went, and then I came back, and then I told you about it. And then how did we figure out we were going?
I think that was around my senior year.
Because I told you, and then when did I tell you about that I'm going and that you should go?
You told me about it my junior year, and then you said like you should go, but I was like kind of on the other side of the fence. I was like, I could, but maybe really not yet. And then it wasn't until after, and I remember like you talking about it more within my senior year, that like you were like more like starry-eyed about this. Like it could happen, like it's a thing, like you can see this, you foresee it, and it's like I project this into the future, and it's gonna happen, and it's gonna happen with you. And I was like, oh, okay.
How did you feel about that though? Did you feel that this guy is full of crap, or did you feel
like,
that
I was like, you are a very ambitious person. And it was like,
that's how? No, I want your honest opinion. If you thought, because the end result has already happened.
yeah.
So, were you like, this guy's
I was like, how are you gonna do this? Like, it was like inconceivable is not the word, but like it was like so ambitious. I'm like, he really, really wants to do this.
Well, all right. So I am of the mind that if you foresee it, if you can visualize it in your brain. So I was also, as well as a Jewish studies major, I was a psych minor. I was a psych major for a while, and then I just was like, you know what? I want to graduate. So I am going to be a minor. I think we're good. But there's a concept that inside your brain, before you do any physical action, a three-dimensional model, like a computer program, runs of it happening. So when I move my arm out like this, milliseconds, microseconds before that happens, this all goes through my brain and occurs. So actually, it's like a 3D rendering occurs inside your brain. So with that in mind, I decided, okay, well, if I can do that and then move my arm and it happens, why don't I 3D render a show or an outcome that I want and then make that happen, and just be so intentional in the fact that I want it to happen that people are and this sounds forceful, but it's not forceful, but are put in a position where they go, well, this is an inevitability because he's doing this. So, all right, we're on board. It's how I got this started. It's how we, created the whole show. But that's so interesting that you saw it as a Herculean task, and you couldn't conceive of how it would generate itself, how it would come to fruition, how it would be created. That's pretty fascinating. So then, digging more into your brain, so when did you make the decision that you were going to be on board, that you were going to go? Because I didn't know. You came to me and told me I applied and I'm going. And I was like, what the wow. Holy cow. I can't believe this.
I think I remember like officially getting a chance to think about it within the winter break, like after the fall semester ended, and I was like, and I had like some moments to think before everyone and their mother was shooting their thesis film.
So this was 2016, right?
Beginning of 2017.
17. All right.
So within that January time off from school, that's when I was thinking, I was like, am I really going to do this? Am I going to Israel? I was like, all right, guess I am. And
now, what were that's interesting, because what I would like to know is, what were your thoughts? Because I know there was some hesitation on your family's part. I know there was some nervousness on your family's part. I'd like you to explore that a little bit. I'd like you to tell me what the mood was for your mom and dad, maybe even your sister, and why you think that.
I think it was.
I know it was
like stressful for them.
How so? That's stress is a generic term. So
it was because they're very protective of the family, and like, I still don't get to do a lot of things that I would wish I could do, but I'm like, it's fine, it's whatever.
Was it because? Hold on though. Was it because it was something you wanted to do and it was overseas, or was it because it was something you wanted to do and it was in Israel? Would it have been the same in Germany? Would it have been the same in Thailand? It would have
been the same.
Okay.
It's like, why are you going so far? And why are you going for so long? I'm like, I didn't create the program. I didn't place it. I didn't throw a dart and say it's going to go here. Like, it's just it happens to be in Israel, and it happens to be 4 weeks. It could have been 6 weeks, but I wasn't going to do that to their hearts. That was too much stress for them. But it was like, why there? It's like, why so far?
That's all right. So that's interesting. Why there? That was that something they said? Why there?
Yeah, because I told them it was because it was a Hebrew program, so it's in Israel, and it was.
Did
fun.
they have any issue with Israel? And I don't mean issue like anti-Semitic or anything like that. I mean, literally, because, and here's why I asked. So everyone, and you may have gotten this too, aren't you scared? Are you nervous? Be safe. Did you get any of those?
Of course. I get that whenever I go anywhere.
No, but I specifically, well, excuse me. For most people,
sexy.
they could, thank you so much. For most people, they could care less if I'm going somewhere, even a war. But specifically for Israel, they were like, "Oh, are you nervous? Are you concerned? Why? Well, the conflict. Oh, I get it. Okay, all right. No, I'm not. Did you run into any of that?
More just like, are you scared because it's far?
Okay. No, that's good. That's excellent. You had a different experience than me, which is nice. So you finally did it. You broke down. You paid for everything. Here's now that we've established what brought you to Israel, and you're taking my impressions of my experience and you're digesting them over a year right?
About.
And we found out what your motivations are and who you are as a student, as a person. So now you have a preconceived notion, whether it's positive or negative or whatever, you have a preconceived notion before you step on the plane. And in the what is 12 cities in Israel, you can see her step on the plane, rolling her bag and carrying a pillow. So you're getting on the plane. You got the weeks that are building up to this trip. What are your perceptions of Israel? And use what I'd like you to use is illustrative language. What I mean by that is use adjectives. They can be positive. They can be negative. Why are you laughing?
Because I'm thinking of my first thoughts.
No, that's good. I want to hear them. Anything, no holds barred. Let me know what you're thinking. It's Israeli boys, isn't it?
No, I was like, I'm going to a dust bowl. That's my thought.
Oh my gosh! All right.
I'm going to the desert. That was my first thought. It's like, I don't know. Like,
no, go.
What I think of Israel is when Moses crosses the Red Sea after with all of them in the movie The Prince of Egypt, and all I see is sand and the sea, and I was like, all right, I'm going there. It's the promised land.
And it has a lot of sand in it. You promised me sand. Thank you.
Oh man. But I remember looking out the window when you told me it was on the El Al plane, and you were like, oh, look out the window. My first thought was, it's flat. It's really flat. I was like, it's flat and wide, this whole view right now.
Well, we were how many thousand feet up, you knucklehead?
But at least like if I was like flying to Puerto Rico, I see like some mountains and like there's ocean. Like it was just straight land and flatness. And I was like, wow.
Well,
I made it.
It's all good. It's all good. No. Okay, so we got your impressions of what you were. So that was your only impression. Did you have any impression about the people? Did you have any impression about the culture, about what you were going to see when you got there?
That I was not going to understand anyone.
And?
I didn't.
Oh, really?
In the beginning, because I hadn't practiced Hebrew since the year before.
Okay.
And just like seeing everything, like there's Hebrew, English, Arabic. It was like translated, but just like it was so prominent. Like it's not just in a book or in a worksheet that I'm writing on. Like it's everywhere. So it was just different.
Oh man, that's cool.
Yeah.
So you're going through the terminal. We're getting off the plane. You're going through security. Thoughts? What are your thoughts at this time?
Wi-Fi. I'm so sorry.
No, why are you sorry?
I don't know, because I was like, my first thought was like, Wi-Fi, tell my parents I'm alive and made it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, just a side note to that, as we're leaving, we're at JFK, we're going through the little snake line, and they're all standing there on the barrier, just bye. Everyone's there. It was really good. I felt tremendous responsibility, but they were sweet. They were wonderful. Your folks are very nice. And so, all right, so you're there now.
My first thought was I saw because where arrivals leave, because it's just like you have a hyper shortcut out of the airport, which kind of sucks because like literally as you're walking, you have the glass wall and you see the whole like the waiting room area of the terminal where like all the terminals intersect. And I was like, that's so cool. There's a fountain coming from the ceiling. I couldn't even see or experience any of that till 4 weeks later when we were leaving. And I'm like, this sucks.
That was where the Gold Star signs were.
Like all the Gold Star was on our left side because it was like
Yay.
plastered against the wall. And it was because Anna, like our flight leaving was so early. So like everything was still closed. So I still.
Oh, yeah. It was crazy.
Still couldn't like experience the terminal.
No, it was we got in at night.
Yeah.
Right?
It was like regular night. It was like 9ish, 10ish. But for us getting from the airport to Beersheba made it like midnight. So then it was just desolate.
It was horrid. It was horrid. But so when you got off the plane, like when I go to Florida, when I go to wherever, I have a notion, even if I haven't been there before. When I went down to visit my folks who my dad lives in Naples, Florida. When I went down there, it was different, but it was in line with what I conceived.
Like what you expect.
Yes. Was Israel what you expected when you got there?
Not really.
Why?
A major factor of it was like airport. I know security is going to be high, but it was like a new level of intense that I had never experienced before. And I'm like,
Did you see that in a negative light?
No, like it was just different. I was like, wow, this is my whole existence out here on paper. And it's like, why are you here? What are you doing? I was like, I get so stressed out at those points, like going in and leaving the country. Like it just happens at the worst times because I'm a lot of the times when I fly, it's like the butt crack of morning, the butt crack of night. So like I'm already like mentally shot, and then they're asking me all these questions with this serious face, and I was like, I can't even tell you what I did yesterday. Like, I was
you know
like,
what the
please let
trick
me
is,
in.
right? You know what the trick is?
What?
Be annoyed. Like not mad, annoyed.
Yeah.
Which is different. And look at your watch. All right, I need to. Okay, yeah, no, that's where I'm from. I swear. Yeah, that's my name. You've asked me 4 times. Okay, cool. I'm set. I'm good. Can I have my password? Thank you. And then, look a little bit annoyed, like you have somewhere to be. If you are super smiley, hi.
No, I'm not even though, because like
or
a lot of times
nervous
I'm like carrying the stuff, so I'm like, right here, you need this, that, and the third, and they're like, why are you here? What are you? I'm a student. And like, who are your parents? Where are they from? I'm like, why do you want to know where they're from?
Well, no, they're thorough. They want to know that you are who you are.
I know.
So we leave there. You go through security. We go out. You get your very first Neviot, which changed your life for the better. So there's 2 more things, and then we're gonna wrap it up here. There's 2 more parts of your impression that I want to get. And one of them is when we're at Hagana, switching trains. And the other one is when we get to Beersheba. And that's a 2-parter. So tell me what you thought when we took the train. Were you like, wow, this is totally different, or yeah, I'm on a train?
No, I was like, this train is ginormous. There's 2 floors. I've seen 2-level trains, but like this, it felt huge. Like it felt like, when you see like those 18-wheeler trucks that they're just tall. That's what it felt like. Like,
so
it felt
did it blow your mind a little bit, or were you like?
It did, because I was like, it felt like it kind of felt like a little mini cruise ship, because it was so big, and it looked like a plane on the inside. Like, it doesn't look like the Metro North or the Long Island Railroad trains.
Oh, not at all. Not at all.
It was nice. They had nice lighting, like it was bright, even though it was really late and my
You
eyes
could
burned.
recharge. They had plugging. They had Wi-Fi.
outlets, and the outlets were like above, so like you didn't have to worry about getting caught if you had like stuff underneath. So it was really cool. Except if your charger was really short, then that's just unfortunate.
Yes. So there was that. So you got off the plane. You understood that you weren't in Kansas anymore.
Definitely.
But was it. So, well, before I ask that, you get to Beersheba. Getting to Beersheba, we were there late, so you check in. It's just like checking into a hotel. You don't know what the place is like you're at yet. And then you wake up the next morning, and here you are. What's in your head? What's on your mind? What was your impression? And again, be illustrative and tell me how you felt.
I'm trying to remember. Okay, so I think I unpacked straight away.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember was waking up and I remember I didn't close the curtains. So, and my window, it faced east.
Mm-hmm.
So I just remember it was like 7 a.m. and it was just bright as all hell in my room. I was like, oh man, like it's white walls, everything in the room. So I was like, it burns. And then I just remember I was like, because it was just quiet. It's always quiet in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just like taking it in. I was like, I'm here, like sitting in this space on the other side of the world. And I'm like, this is different. And like, I remember going out and then going out into the downstairs because I was on the second floor and just seeing the courtyard. But it was big. It wasn't like a little small square thing. Like it was big enough for like a lot of people to just like walk around and chill.
Linger. Lot of lingering. Go on.
And the cats. I remember the cats. And that was just kind of like, I was like, this is heaven.
Yeah. So, all right. So your mind was a little bit blown. Was it what you thought?
It felt like a comfortable, normal. Like this could be a possible everyday for me.
Were you expecting that?
No.
Not at all.
No.
You expected something. You didn't know what you expected, but it wasn't this.
Like it was a nice feeling. I was like, I like this.
All right, cool. Very cool. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you have gotten to know our co-host, Bigash, Rachel Villegas. Her handle, as far as I'm concerned, is Bigash. And I'd like to wrap up this episode in saying we couldn't do this without you. You are one of the major reasons why this happened. And I thought it was important to take the time for all of you to get to know her. Get to know her motivation. And this, I'm serious, water from a stone. Okay? Water from a stone. So she is not a very open person. So I've been reading all of these chatter, like small talk books and everything. And I've just used like every single tool in my arsenal to get her to open up. It was really great. I am so proud of you. That was so awesome. But on that note, now that you've gotten to know Bigash, I need to wrap this up. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you for sharing. And I would like to tell you guys about a couple of organizations that, again, I did it again. I did it last Shabbat.
Oh, my God.
I got a little tipsy and...
You cried?
And I cried, and I went and I gave Ale and Schneider $100 each. So let me tell you about these organizations. Ale helps children with complex disabilities receive state-of-the-art medical, educational, and rehabilitative care in Ale's 4 facilities. In addition, Ale provides thousands of outpatient treatments annually. Without Ale, many of these children would be forced to spend their lives in hospitals with no opportunities for rehabilitation, education, and the love and warmth of a home, please visit www.aleh.org. That's www.aleh.org, and see if there's a way that you can help them. And before you go into that, hit their Instagram page, please. They need more followers. Follow them. Check out their posts. Their posts are really inspirational. They're really beautiful. Check them out.
Yellow. This is Schneider Children's Medical Center of Israel. It is the only comprehensive tertiary care hospital of its kind in the country and in the Middle East, offering the full range of pediatric disciplines under one roof to all children from 0 to 18. Since its establishment in 1991, Schneider Children's has revolutionized the practice of pediatric medicine in the country and has been recognized as one of the leading pediatric institutions in the world. To see what you can do for them, please visit www.schneider.org.il/ing. ENG. ENG for English.
ENG. And so that's www.schneider.org.il/ENG. Yes, good job. All right, we want to let you know that we want to film 6 episodes of our full half-hour length 12 Cities in Israel travel show. So we need some angel investors to help us make our budget of $50,000. This budget includes airfare and lodging, equipment and transportation around Israel, and a host of other things that are required when you go on location with a crew of 4 people for 7 weeks in another country. So even if you give us just $2, you could bring us closer to that $50,000 that we need so that we can bring the full 12 Cities in Israel web series to life. All right. Thank you so much for joining us for the 12 Cities in Israel podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to our feed and become a part of the 12 Cities in Israel community. You can find this podcast on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, and Spotify. And we'll be bringing you a brand new podcast every week, so keep your eyes out for that. Also, to help support this podcast, you can visit our Patreon page and become a regular donor. You can find that page at www.patreon.com/12 Cities in Israel.
And please also visit our YouTube channel where you can see a video version of this podcast and our other videos that we have produced. He arranged it all nice and pretty for you guys. And you can also find our full-length travel episode of the city of Beersheba in southern Israel. So please share it and subscribe. And check us out on our main website at www.12citiesinisrael.com, our Facebook page, and on Instagram, where Michael posts brand new photos every day of our travels.
All right, that's it. Toda rabah.
Lehitrot.
Yalla bye.
ששנינו יחד נושא עיניים ומודה למה שיש אין בי את הפחד ששנינו יחד מהשמיים רק כוח אבקש אין בי את הפחד ששנינו יחד נושא עיניים ומודה על מה שיש אין בי את הפחד ששנינו יחד השמיים רק כוח אבקש רביבו אין בי את הפחד ששנינו יחד נושא עיניים ומודה על מה שיש ששנינו יחד מהשמיים רק